Welcome to HyperScale Video Workshop. My name is Brett Green. No squeaky chair today, I'm standing up in my new office here. I've been waiting for a little while for Airfix 24th scale Spitfire Mk.IXc to arrive from the UK, and because of the various international mail disasters over there, it hadn't arrived in the last month or so. So I was quite pleased to receive an Australia Post notification in my email inbox to say that there was a parcel that had arrived from the UK. So I went to the post office and picked it up and found that it was actually quite a modest size carton here. I was a bit disappointed. I thought, oh well, that can't be the Spitfire. It's nowhere near big enough for a 24th scale kit from Airfix. But surprisingly, when I opened the box, sure enough, inside there is the Spitfire Mk.IXc. So I thought I would share some of the joy of looking at this in detail for the first time. We'll just pull that out of its carton, and there it is. So it's really not a particularly big box. It's the sort of box that you might associate with a 32nd scale fighter kit, or possibly even a 48th scale ICM twin engine kit. But somehow they've managed to squeeze a 24th scale Spitfire into this very compact box. But it's quite sturdy. So let's open it up and see what's inside. Aha! I made a few other purchases. So not only does it have the kit in it, but it's got a few of the bits and pieces that I bought as well. So I bought the new Ames Dornier 217 N2 conversion, so for the ICM kit. So I'll put that to good use, and a whole bunch of other decals and bits and pieces. I'll get to the main act though, rather than tell you all about those. So right, okay, amazingly, inside the box we have a full span, almost full span. The wing tips are separate parts. Full span lower wing. Really nice recessed panel lines along there, and we've got separate hatches for the guns underneath there, and yeah, looks nice. But it actually does manage to fit in that box, in that very compact box. So yeah, that's nice. Okay, that's the first sprue on top. Interestingly, Airfix have packaged sprues in between pieces of paper, brown paper. So let's have a look at what's next. Probably not surprisingly, we have the upper wing halves, and just the glance that I got as I pulled it out of the box, it looks like there's a very slight oil canning effect on the wings surfaces. So once again, the gun access panels are separate parts, and we also have on this sprue a full span, almost full span wing spar as well. So that'll guarantee your correct dihedral. More brown paper. It's like going to the butcher shop in the 1960s. And once again, we have a slight oil canning effect on the main fuselage sprue. Looks very effective actually, looks great. And the recessed panel lines look really good as well. So pretty impressive so far. Sprue M is the upper cowl. I'm just trying to see whether we've got the characteristic very slight sort of overhang from the top. It looks okay, I think it looks fine. So that's just a small sprue, one single small sprue. There's some clear parts, we'll look at those later, but let's see. just got to rip open the plastic bag here. And we have 2 sprues inside. The first one is various control surfaces. It's the long wing tips are there, 2 sets of. We have 2, there's 2 of the different styles of the C wing bulges, I believe. We've got some separate flaps there and other miscellaneous parts too. So, and there's the cannon barrels as well. So that's on one of those sprues. Getting into the detail parts now, but we have also wing root structure that we can see there, as well as wheel well linings, machine guns here, and once again more detail parts. So everything looks nicely molded, lots of ejector pin marks on the inside of parts that you won't see the parts at all. So molding looks very good so far. Right, we've still got a few sprues to go here, folks. I don't have my trusty alpha knife, so I'm just using a regular hobby knife. Control surfaces. So we have the pointed rudder and the rounded rudder, and we also have the various fabric covered control surfaces. It looks like we have both the kinked and the unkinked elevators, which is nice, so it's no surgery required to get both of those options. Next up we have engine detail, and that looks pretty nice too. Looks very nice. And the engine bearers, also very nicely done. We've got various lines. We've got the spark plug leads there as well, and more lines and detail parts for the engine. It looks like pretty much everything here is for the engine. So that's very nice indeed. Another bag with another 2 sprues, and we'll just rip that open. It's not too far now. And we have cockpit sidewalls and the cockpit sub floor there. We have also the instrument panel, so there's obviously a part that goes in front of that. The various parts for the bulkheads, for the seats, which has separate sides, but interestingly the seat sides are mounted to directly to the seat mount, so that's handy. We've got some electrical wire here. Also a very nice touch is a plastic moulded seat belt. I do like that idea. I don't know why model companies don't do it more often. I'm sure it's well within the technology that's available today. Next up, we have some more bulkheads. Really nice detail there. Alternative cannon barrels, various little bumps and lumps, or optional access doors. Undercarriage parts, we have flattened and bulged tyres that are here as well. Nice stout undercarriage by the look of it as well. And we've got 5 and 4 and no spoke wheel options as well, which are separate parts, the wheel hubs. And this is the last of the grey sprues. Let's have a look at this one. It's quite exciting, this. It's yes, a very nice kit so far. So let's just It's just the bags are resisting a little bit when I'm trying to get the parts out. And we have the short carburetor intake. We have the long late version carburetor intake. We have the frames for the engine panels and the side side cowl panels as well. We have 4 propeller blades, the spinner, the hub, and the spinner backplate. So that's a pretty straightforward sprue there. And the final plastic sprue that we have is the clear sprue. So, being careful not to lose any bits, because it looks like the canopy has actually come off the sprue already. Oh, both the canopies have. All right, we'll come back and have a look at those in a second. We have the windscreen. There's 2 options for the instrument panel. One has engraved instrument detail on the dials. The other one has plain dials, which presumably you'll be using decals on. Detail parts, landing lights, gun, sight, navigation lights, mirror, and a whole bunch of other goodies on there as well. And the bits that are left over in the bag are basically I'm going to have to check this, the two canopy pieces. Although it looks like there's 3 major pieces that had come off the sprue of the clear sprue, so I will have to have a look at that in more detail. There definitely looks like there's more missing from there, but I'll check that a bit later on. Oh, and another little detail I've just noticed is the short wingtips. So you can make an LF, I think, version using those. So that's another nice little touch from Airfix. Finally, in the box, we have quite a big decal sheet. So I didn't actually have a look at how many. It looks like there's 4 options for this one. So there's RAF, there's French, and also US Army Air Force markings as well, I think in desert colours. So plenty of interesting options there on the decal sheet. They're nicely glossy, they look like they're in good register, and they shouldn't be any trouble to use at all. So that's it, the brand new Airfix 1/24 scale Spitfire Mk.IXc. It is just a C, isn't it? Yes, it is a C. Just thought I'd better check that. Now, I've heard a lot of talk about this being, you know, the best thing that Airfix has ever done, and it certainly looks very, very good. But I've got to say, having built the Typhoon a few years ago and having bought the Hellcat and having that in my collection, I would say that this is in the same category as those. So we've got some really nice texture on the surfaces with their recessed panel lines and the oil canning effect. Quite subtle, not going overboard at all. Lots of detail on the inside as well. The cockpit looks really nice. Gun bay detail is available. And plenty of options that are very helpful as well, with the pointy and the rounded rudder, with the early and late style elevators, also other details such as the guns and bits and pieces with various options. So it's a great kit, looks very, very nice. It'll keep you occupied for a while. I'll do a parts count later on, but it's a decent number of parts, I would say. But yes, congratulations Airfix, that's another great one to put into that same category as your Typhoon and your Hellcat. Well, that's all we have from now from my new Lithgow office. This is Brett Green signing off from HyperScale Video Workshop. Bye for now.